Hey, Raul. Hello, life coaches, and welcome Facebook Live. I'm pretty excited today because this is step 8. I can't believe it's been 8 weeks of going over these 8 steps of communication. And step 8 is all about you. So, Raul, please say hello.
Hey, hello, Seal, and hello, everybody. And I'm so happy to be here. And I'm just really, really, oh my God, let's go back. I
Okay,
forgot what the word is. Amazed. I don't know why I went blank, but amazed. So let's just
okay.
get back.
Let's go back. So Camilo cut everything else out. Okay, good. So sorry, Camilo. Okay, so hold on just a second. Okay, so welcome life coaches and Facebook Live. Hey, it's great to be here today. We're going to talk about step 8 of the effective communication cycle, and pretty excited about today because today is all about you on this step. All about you. Did you create a positive result? So, Raul, please tell them what to do if they want this download that we're going to be talking about today.
Correct. So as you know, we have created a worksheet and we're going to include in the worksheet just the main points connected to state 8 of effective communication. So if you're interested to and you want to get that, so the only thing you need to do is just type next. Just type the word next in the comments, and then someone from the team will connect with you and share with you what are the instructions to get the worksheet.
Thank you so much. And for those of you who are watching it live, please just type live in the comment section. And if you're not watching it live and you're watching it as a replay, if you would kindly type in the words replay, we would really appreciate it. So, as we're looking at step 8, basically at the end of having a great communication cycle, the real question that you want to ask yourself is, did you create a positive result? How did the communication end? Did you move to another subject at the right time, or was it just time to end the communication because you ended on such a high note? So that's what you're really looking here when you get to step 8. And I'm really curious, Raul, what kind of challenges? I know what kind of challenges I run into, but what kind of challenges do you run into when you're really wanting to have a green zone communication and when you get to the end? What kind of challenges have you seen?
Yeah, I would say connected to step 8, it could be a simple scenarios like even like just not knowing what to say. For example, that's pretty common. Another one would be
Mhm.
like not knowing how to handle something.
Yeah.
It's like that you need to continue the communication, then something's coming up, but then you don't know how to handle that, how to continue
Mhm.
with that. And then the other thing, and that's really common as well, is just like losing control of the communication, like especially if communication is just going all over the place. It's almost like becoming pointless. So those are like pretty common examples when this step 8 is not in place. That's some of those that I've seen.
Yeah, you bring up a really good point. It reminds me of a conversation that I had once with a couple other people. Actually, I think it was around 3 or 4 of us in this conversation. And I knew before we got together, excuse me, that if we really did not follow the 8 steps of communication, that in this particular situation that we would lose control of the communication, and what was supposed to not take more than 30 minutes, our maximum could go all the way up to, I don't know, 90 minutes or even 2 hours. So I knew that going in, and so did the people that were trained that was on that call with me. And as I was sitting back, because I wasn't the only one sharing, as I was sitting back and just watching the communication, being exchanged between parties. Ooh, I could just see it going out of control, and how frustrating that is when you've lost control of the conversation. You've got to try to reel everybody back in. Now, also, you know, I look back at my life and I thought, oh my goodness, before, if I had known these 8 steps, oh, I would have just been there half the night probably and endured it on and on and on. So at least with, the skills that, we kind of all had, at least we didn't go all the way down to the bad zone, if you will, and we're able to keep it to a kind of so outcome, and we knew that it was best to take a break and come back and have another chat later. So, but that losing control, man, when you're really present and you really understand the 8 steps of communication, and you know what you're going for, and you want that positive result, and your goal is to having an enhanced communication between the other parties, and you want it to be friendly and pleasurable and enjoyable, and it's not going that way, whoo, that can be very deflating. But knowing the 8 steps, at least you have something to do. You can do something about it. So anything else you want to add?
Yeah, I mean, I think that that's really one of the main points and connected to step 8, right? Because you can
Yeah.
communicate pretty much about anything, with anybody, right? But once you're in communication, it's almost like an attitude. It's more an intention, right? Like the intention, especially if we're talking about effective communication,
Mm-hmm.
effective communication. So the intention is to make something better, to enhance
Yeah.
something. It's not just talking or communicating just because, right? Is we're here, right? Because we want to enhance something.
Mm-hmm.
We want this situation to be better. We want this relationship to be better. We want this business to be better. So if you're coming close to the end of the communication, you really should look at that. Like, is this situation fully handled now? Is
Mm-hmm.
this better now? If
Mm-hmm.
so, then fantastic, right? But if not, you might probably have to continue, right?
Mm-hmm. Or pause and let the other person know and be honest, so you get rid of that pretense, like we talked about, in step 7. Just be honest. And I think I need some time to give this some more thought. So that way you don't blow up the whole conversation, people don't leave mad, but it's, you know in a friendly manner, you know what I mean, you can end. So therefore you've got the opportunity to come back and, continue to upgrading it. Like you said, it reminds me of this morning of when you came out and you said something to me, and I said, hey, I've been thinking about something. Could I show you this in my office? And you said, yeah. So we went in there and I just kind of showed you some things. But the whole, and it was funny because, as we were discussing today's topic, you said, you kept going back to make it better. It should be enhancing. And that was the whole topic of the communication about the office. How could we make it better? How could we enhance it? And then it was quite easy. It went by really fast. Both of us were quite friendly. We felt good. We knew what our next steps were. So, it reminds me of Alan. Alan always said, your purpose should make the person feel better. They should feel happier. So, whenever you're communicating, that's such a positive intention to really go into a communication, into a conversation with anyone, and only way to live. That's my thoughts on that. Only way to live. Final last word?
Yeah, I mean, just probably a couple hints just connected to that is, and you said it so well. It's in step 8. it is also like putting together or using all the other steps, right?
Mm,
Because that really creates mastery in communication. It's because it's also what to say, but then also you should look sometimes or inspect like how to say it, and
mhm,
sometimes when, right? Like you said, sometimes it's okay, I'm not seeing the indicators yet,
mhm,
but let's take a pause, right?
mhm,
Or let's continue, right? So that's very,
mhm,
very important. Then the other thing, just please, please follow the indicators, right? Like effective communication is not rocket science, right? just
mhm,
just just look at their face, right? The face of the other person that you're communicating with. And if they're not smiling, if they're not happier, if they're not just like really, really excited, then probably you haven't really solved, right? The very thing that you wanted to solve the problem, the situation. So it's very important. It's not rocket science, but just watch the indicators. And if you have the indicators, they're happier, they're winning, fantastic. It's probably a great time to end. If not, you probably have to use
mhm.
a couple extra tools, right? Or keep probing just to really get to a great place.
Mm. Thank you so much, Raul. I thought of one more thing that Alan says actually in the effective communication book, and I'm going to paraphrase again. So basically, what he says is, you know, out of all the tools, and he has thousands of tools, you know, the thing that affected his income, the thing that affected his success, the thing that affected his life and his love and his great relationships was knowing these 8 steps and really understanding what's connected to the 8 steps and how to use them masterfully. So I would encourage all of you guys and inspire you to get to know and understand these 8 steps because we teach this stuff and it's life changing. Thank you so much.